fantasy, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Hey guys, what's going on? Underground Geek here. So I got another comic book to show you guys. It's another one that I just kind of found by Googling different artists and different writers. And I came across this because I was such a fan of Lady Killer that I thought that I would look at some more books by Joelle Jones. And it's this one's called Helheim. And this one got my attention because it's a Viking story. And it's by Cullen Bunn. And I was like, okay, that's different, you know, and I'm trying to do different things. I'm trying to look at different books, give you guys some new books to go check out, things like that. And because that's always fun, you know, find out new stuff, go tell your friends about it, they check it out, and everybody's happy because the artists and writers are getting more recognition for older work, so that's always good. So I went through there and I just kind of Googled everything that Joelle Jones does. And I said, well, you know, I'll just go check it out and see what it is. And I saw this one, and I was like, oh, a horror Viking story. That can't be bad. I mean, and then I looked at this cover here, and I was like, you know, that was kind of interesting. You know, you've got the Frankenstein dude. You don't really know what's going on with that. You've got the soldiers, the skeleton soldier guys, and then you've got the hot chick on the cover there. So, you know, there's something's going on here. You got the damsel in distress. Looks very, it almost looks like those 80s movies covers, so it tells a little bit of the story here, and it says, once the threshold of Helheim is crossed, not even gods can escape. And it's like, oh, I don't know what that is, what's going on? But it's written by Cullen Bunn, it's illustrated by Joelle Jones. So let's look at it a little bit here. So basically this is Vikings, and I already like Vikings, so of course I thought I would like this. Now when the story starts, it's kind of faster paced, you know, it gets you right in the middle of the story, which is always fun. I don't have a problem with that at all. I do wish they give you a little bit more of the title page, because really they just get right into the book and that's all you have. But that's okay too, I guess. Now, when the book starts out, the Vikings are on the run. They're running from somebody, somebody's after them. All of them are pretty, you know, all of them look kind of banged up, kind of injured. You've got the main guy here with the blonde hair. He is, I think his name's Rickard. Yeah, Rickard. And he's helping one of the injured soldiers. He's pretty much carrying him at this point. And then he sees something. He sees some kind of like ghostly apparition, and it's standing there with a sword in the water. You can see through him. He's bleeding from his eyes. And then he notices it, and he says, "That's me." And so at that point, the rest of the group is telling him to catch up, so he turns around, it's gone. And so that's all there is of that. And the guy that he was carrying has now died. So he leaves him there pretty unceremoniously and keeps running. And as they're running away, then we get a first look at who's after them. And a little bit of what bothers me is some of the stuff that don't fit the timeline. But pretty much what it looks like is chasing them is Indians. So this must be when the Vikings went to America, you know, and were fighting the Indians. And the Indians got the heads up on them because they had a lot of guerrilla tactics when they fought. They didn't fight out in the open, and the Vikings weren't used to that. They used arrows a lot, and the Vikings didn't use a whole lot of arrows. So that didn't help. Now, these Indians look a lot different than regular Indians. Something's wrong with them. They look zombified, and the dogs look zombified as well. They've got these dogs with them. Now, the only thing that got on my nerves was they've got collars around the dogs made of barbed wire. And I don't know when barbed wire was invented, but I know Indians weren't using it. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, what? So they're going for edge. You know, they're trying to be real edgy. But that kind of threw me off a little bit. Now, at first, I was thinking that they just made they wanted to make the Native Americans look mean. You know, I thought they were just trying to make them look meaner. And then I got to thinking, you know, after the story progressed, oh, these are like undead. Okay, so they're chasing the Vikings. The Vikings get back to their fort, but they can't get inside because the Indians are right behind them. They're not going to be able to open the doors because they'll just run in there after them. So they have no choice but to stand there and fight. So they're fighting them. They're the first they send in the dogs, so they're fighting the dogs. They take the dogs down, and then come the regular foot soldiers. Indians, they're coming after them. They're fighting them, chopping them, cutting them. And then they actually kill some of the Vikings, of course. But then they're able to kill the rest of the Indians. It's pretty cool fight scenes here. It's nothing too crazy because Vikings wouldn't be jumping through the air doing cartwheels or anything. So this is where it kind of reminded me of the 13th Warrior. They're sitting there talking, and they said they don't leave their dead. They never leave their dead. They always carry their dead off. What do they do with the bodies? And so that reminded me of the 13th Warrior, that movie that was really good with Antonio Banderas. And he says, well, let the night creatures feed on their corpses for a change. So they climb back inside, or they walk back inside in the fort. Everybody's rejoicing. They think that it's over with. Ricard sees his lady friend, which is named Bera, a very, very pretty redhead. They're hugging each other. They're happy. He's covered in blood, but she doesn't care because she misses him. And he says, we failed. The witch is too heavily protected by her savages and other things. Groa yet lives. And she says, it's all right. You can try again. And obviously, I think this is Ricard's dad. He does not like something about her because he makes a groaning noise and goes off in a different direction. And I didn't really know what was going on there. I didn't catch that at first, but he's doing that towards her. But I didn't really catch that because they didn't make a good enough indication, But as they're sitting there talking, he says, let's find our own women and stop worrying over your sons. And he says, don't be stupid, Shad. There's no other women around here. And as they're squabbling about women, one of the older ladies says, look, the bodies. And so something starts happening to the bodies. Their skeletons actually come out of the skin. They've got rune marks on them. They've got some kind of smoke coming up around them. And then the skeletons actually change into like armored soldiers. And it bothered me at first because I was thinking Indians wouldn't be armored soldiers. That wouldn't really make a lot of sense. But if there's a witch doing this, then she could alter things and make them like that. She's probably not Native American. So then they say it's a night creature. It's a night creature. It's a trap. But the gate's already open. They're already coming in, and all heck breaks loose. They start attacking. Ricard tells Bear to go hide, and as they're all fighting the creatures and killing them, they're killing some of the Vikings as well. And that's when Ricard's dad takes advantage of the situation and actually gets his son's girlfriend or wife, whatever she is, and says, here she is, she's the one you want, take her and leave us. And he says, Father, what are you doing? And he's screaming at him again, take her. He said, I'll kill her myself if I have to. And so there's a lot of fighting going on. Ricard's trying to stop his dad from killing her. One of the skeleton soldiers cuts him, and before Bera and her dad can do anything about it, the soldier cuts Ricard's head off. And so they both scream no. They defeat the ghosts or the skeleton creatures, but it's too late. Okay, and then there's that spirit again that he saw before. Now Ricard sitting there with his eyes bleeding with the armor. So the next day, everyone's pretty much upset because Ricard was the best soldier they had, and they don't really know what to do now. It's his son. He's gone. What are they going to do? And then they're talking about the corpses. They said, hey, the corpses from last night, they stayed where they fell. It's the first time the ghouls let the dead rest in weeks. Perhaps the demons in the dark are done tormenting us. And he said, well, what happened to my son's body? And he says, he's being tended. Bera took him. And he said, what? So he goes to look for her because he knows something's up. He's running around. He finds Bera's place and he says, it should have been you that died. My son might have been blinded by you, but not me. Someone has to pay. You must make recompense for my son's death. And he says, whoa, what's that smell? There's a rotting flesh smell in here. And that's when someone grabs him by the throat. He gasps, and then Bera says, I've only done what I must to protect myself, and you shouldn't fret. Your son's not dead. Ricard is worth more than the whole of this village. He was strong and fast and sweet and oh so loyal. I would never just let him die. And then we see it Ricard has been turned into a Frankenstein monster with huge arms and a body, all stitched together from pieces of other people. And she said, "You said yourself, Kurt, my enemies are still coming for me." And that's why I was like, oh. And she said, "Your son cannot rest until they're all dead." So at that point, we pretty much figure out that Bera is a witch herself. So this is a witch-to-witch conflict, and she is in fact the reason why this is happening. Now, I don't think that she is completely evil, but at the same time, I don't think that she is just as sweet as we thought she was to begin with. Now, this is a very interesting story to me. I don't normally get into this kind of cheesy stuff like this, but this is pretty interesting. Like I said, it reminds me of the 13th Warrior, and I like those kind of stories. I also like the TV show Vikings, so I think it could be really fun. I really like the art as well. That's one thing I like about artists that actually have talent. I've read some of her books from earlier, and they were not very good. Like, the art was not very good. And then I see books like these, and it's good. And then I read books that come later, and they're better. And then now she's drawing for the Batman books. Like, she's drawn multiple issues of the Batman books. So, I mean, and they're good. Like, she does really good with Wonder Woman and Catwoman. And I mean, it's really good art. It's like anybody else, you know, Jorge Jimenez, Ethan Van Sciver, people like that. They just keep getting better and keep trying. So I really like that. I don't like for somebody just to come in and, you know, never does anything better. But when you can see progression, that's what I like. But like I said, this is going to be a fun little book. I would definitely check it out if you like horror books and if you like history-based horror like this. Because Vikings are cool. They have a lot of ancient lore that they can fall back on, gods and things of that nature. And then now you got this Frankenstein Viking that's like towering over other people. So that's going to be kind of interesting. I'm interested to see what happens next. I just feel kind of bad because I do feel like she's using Ricard. And at this point, I'm like, is he just a, you know, mindless creature? Like, what's going to happen to the character? But at the same time, it's kind of interesting because you have a backwards Frankenstein's monster at this point. But alright guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you liked this video. I definitely, like I said, I definitely would suggest this. It's made by Oni Press. It was $3.99 when it came out, though. That's the only thing I don't understand. $3.99 for this book? I mean, it's a good $2.99 book, but not $3.99. But it was 2013. It's Cullen Bunn. You know, Cullen Bunn's kind of a big deal. But, alright guys, I'll talk to you later. I'll do some more videos later. I'm going to do some Alterna comics. So you'll be seeing those come through. But, alright, talk to you guys later. Underground Geek out.
I wish I knew you when I was young.